How's the prep going?
So it's okay. Yeah.
Okay, fine. So, will you just tell me about yourself? Basic info. Where are you from?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
So I'm from Delhi, but I'm currently in Lucknow. I am pursuing chemical engineering from BITS Hyderabad, and I'd like to provide three characteristics that I possess. First is adaptability. Second is creativity in anything that I take up, and I have a zeal to learn new things. Um, in terms of my basically what I've done till now, primarily done two internships. The first of which was in my second year with An Academy. Initially, I started as an educator there and I created some online content for 12th grade aspirants. Then I also joined their business diversification and college overview project. Then the most recent one was with QMath, where I mostly worked in the search optimization area. But I also worked in the UI UX designing of the website. I created infographics and social media ads. And I also acted as the category manager for my team, where I had to coordinate with the various other teams associated with the project. And one of the biggest accomplishments that I had over there was during my duration of the internship, the monthly blog traffic for the website increased from 25,000 per month to 200,000 per month. Uh, but I also like to engage myself in extracurricular activities. I was the head of my department of technical arts, and I led a team of around 50 members towards the goal of creating online social media ads, posters, UI UX design of websites and apps. And I also do a little bit of reading, and I like to sometimes explore the cooking side.
Okay, fine. So, Gauri, you talked about one of your interns where you increased the traffic from 25 to 200,000, right?
Yes.
Could you just briefly tell me how exactly were you able to achieve that?
So we started with purely keyword analysis for all the blogs that were present on the website. So we used a tool called Ahrefs initially, and then we also used Google AdWords, where we found the keywords, uh, optimal keywords in which the keyword difficulty, or basically which shows what the competition is there on the internet for that particular keyword. The keyword difficulty is less, and the volume or the search is more. So people actually want to know more about that particular query. So we chose those keywords. We added them uniformly. So there are certain parameters like you have to use them 4 to 6 times. So we use them. We told the authors that these are the keywords. These are how you have to use them, and these have to be the headings because those also matter. Then we also chose certain FAQs because a lot of times on Google we feature as snippets for the particular queries that the user makes, and we added those. Then we also added things like external links, internal links within the website, which actually boosts our website on the Google algorithm. And this way, we created new content which was optimized, as well as we went back to the old unoptimized blogs and added the keywords, changed it, made it more uniform, and so a cumulative effort of both of these actually increase the blog traffic uh, to this.
Okay, okay, fine. So, I think you've done some courses as well.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I can see a course which is business analysis and valuation. Could you just briefly tell me, probably what content did you cover in that course?
We actually explored that when if you have a business, what matters in terms of competition, what matters in terms of the industry that you are in, how do you add value to your business, what factors you have to take in, both a very quantitative evaluation as well as a qualitative evaluation of where you're entering and how do you proceed further, and understand the problems and issues and the risk that is present, and try to find a way to actually increase your business in whichever industry you go.
Okay, so what you said you did some quantitative analysis, some qualitative. So what exactly did you do?
So in 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 a more qualitative manner, we kind of saw if we are a new business to enter a market, we checked uh, what are the competitors already present, what is the market share of those competitors, how can we differentiate our product from their product, uh, what are the requirements which we can fulfill which are not done by them, and basically in that way qualitatively analyze that what is the best way to move forward. And quantitative, we checked the market share, we checked what is the risk, what is involved in the various like various industries pertaining to the market, and then that way we move forward and did a full cumulative analysis of our business.
Okay, so say I'm a new firm and I want to enter an industry, some industry. So which framework do you think I'll use to assess whether it's actually beneficial to enter that industry?
Uh, Personally, I have used the five forces, Michael Porter's five forces, where we see
Okay.
the competitiveness, and we check entirely how to proceed, and I think that is a good framework to analyze your entry to that industry.
Okay, so what does that framework actually tell you? What are the five forces?
So one is the already existing competition that is present. The other is
Okay.
the already the product that you have. Is there any alternative to those? Any alternative products which are present to your thing, which can actually reduce your chances of entry? Um, uh, then one of them is uh, I'm sorry, I think I've
Okay.
missed out. Yeah.
Okay, not a problem. Uh, not a problem. Okay, so I can see. Okay, let's just leave the courses and your CV. What do you think is the role of a business development team?
So business development deals with any sort of area which your business can grow, or any value can be added to it. So your marketing, your sales, your strategy, your management, your sales, all of these are part of your business development, and these are the various areas which you can work in. And I think it's
Mhm.
what it's called, developing your business in any way.
Okay, fine. So, okay, I'll give you a situation, right? So, first of all, okay, just sell me a cup of coffee. Okay, you need to convince me to buy a cup of coffee.
Okay.
Take some time, take perhaps 30 seconds to think about it, and then start your pitch. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
So, would you call yourself a morning person or more of a night person?
morning person.
Okay. So, let's say one day you get an assignment which is due the next day, and you have very less duration to finish it. And if it's a group assignment, everybody's free at that time. Then how do you usually force yourself to work through it and finish it on time? How do you
Okay.
stay up at night?
Okay, so I said I'm a morning person. I'll do it in the morning.
No, but what if you got to know in the afternoon that there is something due the next day and you
Okay,
have to spend a lot of time throughout the night where all of your team members are free at that time only?
okay. So I'll have a cup of tea.
Hmm. But um, let's say that you need constant, like you have to stay up throughout the night. So after a point, tea, I feel like I mean, personally, I feel tea is really bitter, and after a point, I get sick of it as well. So then I feel coffee is a good alternative in which you can kind of modify it, you can make it according to your taste, and I think it will help you actually stay up as well as you can use it as many times as you want throughout the night.
Okay, that goes with tea as well.
No, but with tea, I feel no amount of like you have to add sugar and still it's pretty bitter, I feel. But with coffee, you can actually um, add flavors, add chocolate, and in that way, for you at least, it will be a much pleasant experience.
Okay. Well, for tea also, you can actually, mix the ingredients as per your taste. And coffee is less bitter. That's, I think, a questionable thing to say.
Yeah, but you can actually modify the amount of, I mean, that was for tea, but you can modify the amount of coffee that you have for each dose, and that will be definitely less bitter if you put less and you have it more often.
Okay, fine. Okay. So, I'll give you a situation next.
Hmm.
Okay, tell me how you'll respond to it. Fine. So, say you have a competitor and a client. So, your client is willing to switch to one of your competitors for a product,
Hmm.
right? Tell me how you'll respond to it and how you'll handle the situation.
Okay, I'll take a minute to think about it.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I won't pitch like my product or my company again. I'll first ask them what made them switch, and what if it was a certain situation or any event that happened, or if there's something they find in that product which is better for them. I'll try to understand what made them do it, and then if with whatever they say, I try to uh, I try to provide them with some reasoning why we can also back up our product in the same way wherever it's possible. Now, if they do mention something which we do lack, I will definitely try to convince them that for them we can work on that as well. We can try to modify it according to their needs, and we'll try to take some feedback from them so that even we can work on the product that might lack in a certain way.
Okay, fine. So, say your client actually wants a feature added to a product, and the
Mhm.
competitor is offering that feature
Hmm.
at the same price, but we are not. So, in
Hmm.
that case, what will you do?
So I'll definitely convince them that we are going to work on that feature now, And
Mhm.
since they have been a client with us already, we can maybe provide them with a discount initially, because they are definitely a long term client. And so if in that incentive, they might want to stay with us and give us another chance and some more time for us to actually include that feature again, so they stay with us for that duration.
Okay, fine. So, um, fine. Okay, we'll stop it here then. Okay, so Gauri, just tell me, what are your future plans? So, where do you want to see yourself in, say, 5 years?
So ultimately, I would like to be a project or a product manager. That's where I see myself in another 5 years. And I think my current experience also has given me a few basic insights, and I hope I can pick more of them along the way now.
Okay, fine. Okay, we'll stop the interview here. I'll give you a quick feedback and then probably we can discuss any doubts or any questions that you may have.
Hmm,
Fine?
definitely.
Okay,
Hmm.
so we started with your introduction. I thought it was a bit long,
Okay.
um, so you can actually crisp that down. Also, you started with, okay, you were from Delhi, and then you started telling me that okay, there are three characteristics that you have. But I think whenever you are introducing yourself, it's not it's not like I just asked you, uh, to tell me about you, right? So it has to be in a form of a story which you're proud to tell me, right?
Okay.
So how you were like answering a question. So when you started with you have three characteristics, it's like you're answering what strengths you have or how you'll define yourself, right? In
Hmm.
three words. I
Okay.
thought that it was not really an answer to a question. It had to
Okay.
be more of a story which describes you. So you highlighted whatever you have done, so interns, projects, and your POR. But instead of that, I can see it in your CV already. I can
Hmm.
find that in your CV. So
Hmm.
just don't tell what you did. Tell me, okay, I can see what you did. Now tell me what you learned out of it.
Hmm.
Okay. So whenever
Okay.
you're introducing yourself, especially professionally, it's very, it's good that you tell me how you are actually growing from what you're doing, what you're learning,
Hmm.
because that is what is most important. So
Hmm.
even if I hire you, okay, so I expect you to learn from whatever you're doing and then contribute to the whatever you're
Hmm.
doing,
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
Yeah. So whenever you're introducing yourself, just try to build a story around that instead of those three bullet points. I think it's
Hmm.
better that you narrate it like a story so that the interviewer also feels like listening to you.
Hmm.
Okay, it's not really an answer to a question,
Yeah,
right?
makes sense.
So you can uh, frame it accordingly. But yes, otherwise, what you were telling me was good. It was relevant. Okay,
Okay.
yeah. Then when I asked you questions from your CV, I thought, especially with that, the course business valuation. When I asked you what actually you covered, you should have told me the topics that you covered. So you must have used some frameworks, for example, Porter's 5 you mentioned. There would be
Hmm.
other frameworks as well for quantitative and for qualitative.
Hmm.
So whenever someone asks you what you actually covered, they want to know the topics that you covered and not really,
Okay.
just one liner on what the course actually taught you, which you
Hmm.
did say, and then
Hmm.
the brief topics.
Okay. The main
Yeah.
topics.
Yes. So, in fact, if you're writing it in your CV, it's always good to actually remember the course outline. It's very
Hmm.
important because your CV tells what you have done, what you know,
Hmm.
right? So
Hmm.
if you fumble when you're talking about that, it's not a good impression. Okay.
Okay.
And similarly for Porter's 5, um, that framework is something which you should, at least those five
Yeah,
courses
yeah.
should be by heart.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll do
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
And yeah, and we will not tell that. So I think it's just a bit of preparation that is needed.
Hmm.
Yeah. So whatever is there in your CV, the interviewer will try to ask you something which he thinks you will not be able to answer,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
So which he thinks you must have taken it lightly. So don't give him that, that one point which you don't know about.
Yeah.
You might be, you might know 90% of your CV, but if he asks something from that other 10%, it's not a good impression, right?
Hmm.
So
Right.
keep that in mind. Just you should know briefly everything what's there in your CV.
Hmm.
Then about the situation when I asked you to sell me a cup of coffee, I think you started well. There are two aspects whenever you are creating a pitch. It's about the product that you're selling and take into consideration to whom you're selling. So the
Hmm.
other part you did take it, you did consider it well because you were selling it to me. You talked about assignments and what I do, right? So that was good. Bit about the coffee as well. You can actually talk about its features. So you can say that coffee, it's more effective than tea. You tried saying that, right? Then probably just extra features that add to it. It's very bold. It's low
Hmm.
acidity,
Hmm.
right? So something like that. And
Okay.
um, yeah, so talk about the features of the product as well when you're trying to sell it,
Hmm.
right? Then the situation you started well. You will want to know, okay, why the client is leaving us. Now,
Hmm.
when you're saying that, you can just list the pointers. What can be the possible reasons of him leaving us, right? It
Okay.
can be we are not providing adequate quality,
Hmm.
competitors' quality is better, right?
Hmm.
We are hiring higher prices. We are charging higher
Hmm.
prices, right?
Yeah.
With the competitors providing the same product at a cheaper price. Or
Hmm.
probably he needs some other feature to it, right?
Yeah.
There can be other possible reasons. So just
Yeah.
state some of the reasons which are possible in this scenario,
Hmm.
right?
Okay.
And then we can talk about each of the reasons briefly. So that
Okay.
would give a pace to the interview,
Hmm.
right? It will set
I
a pace.
understand.
It will also give some pointers for you to talk about,
Okay.
right? So
Hmm.
it's basically the structure to the approach which
Hmm.
you lagged somewhere,
Hmm.
and it would come with preparation,
Okay.
right? Yeah.
Hmm.
Also, in the business development role, it's most important whenever I talk. Okay, I told you that the client needs another feature to the product. So now
Hmm.
you have to make a decision. What do we have to do, right? But that decision has to be made on basis of some information. So
Okay.
first would be you'll have to talk to the product team whether we have that technological advancement to actually provide that feature.
Hmm.
Whether there should be no technological constraints,
Okay.
right?
Hmm.
Similarly, you'll have to talk to the finance team about whether we have enough resources to put in,
Hmm.
right?
Correct.
If
Yeah.
there are no constraints and no cash constraints, no technology constraints, then probably you will do a cost benefit analysis whether we'll be able to recover revenues,
Hmm.
you know, we able to get revenues to recover the investment that we put in,
Hmm.
right? Or is just keeping in and putting in money and no benefit. So you
Yeah.
have to do
Makes
that
sense. Hmm.
also. So you get a better approach, and that comes with preparation. So I think
Okay.
um, you were confident. It's just the preparation that you lacked and that you can do. So that can be handled, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Otherwise, it was good. I mean, you have good communication skills. You were
Hmm.
confident as well. A bit of preparation, and you raise it.
Yeah. I'll do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Any questions?
Yeah, actually, like about the introduction as well, how long should it be? Like, how long should I take to introduce myself approximately?
It can be 2 to 3 minutes, and in case the interviewer wants to, ask some follow-up questions, he'll do that.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
And I don't have to cover all the things that I've done on the resume, right? Because I've done like four to
Anything,
five internships.
yeah, you might not. So at whatever you think you actually learned from it, you have actually grown,
Hmm.
right? It's more about development,
Okay,
right? And not just highlighting your CV points.
okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
makes sense.
So it takes a lot of
Um,
effort. You'll have to put in thought.
yeah, I'll have
Yeah.
to like reframe it properly. I'll
Yes.
do that.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
And do I have to like, will they ask guesstimates and all in business
They
development
can.
roles as well? Okay.
They can. So business
Hmm.
development is a very wide role. They can ask you marketing questions the way I did. They can ask you situation based questions. There can be, cases. They can be guesstimates. So
Okay,
you'll
okay,
have puzzles, riddles, anything.
okay.
So
I'll
you'll
I'll
have to
have to
prepare
prepare all of
accordingly.
them.
At least you
Hmm.
should know how to approach them.
Hmm. Yeah.
Right?
Proper structuring and all the way.
Proper structure. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I
Anything else?
think that's it. I think that's yeah. I think you gave a really good feedback
Okay.
also. In my is my resume okay? Should I edit it somehow?
Yeah, I think it was a bit long. It was
Okay.
over, one page, 1.5. I'm not sure whether you're supposed to make it to one page
Oh,
or
it's
is
yeah.
1.5 fine?
No, actually, I updated my resume again. I think the first time I sent the wrong one. I
Okay.
sent one with one page again.
Okay. So I have the
Yeah.
resume which is 1.5 page long.
Oh, okay, okay,
So
makes sense. I
yeah,
cut it down to one page though.
that's good. Okay.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah. Apart from that, I think the pointers are good. It's only that there's some space left, so you can actually
Yeah,
make the
I
pointers
removed
a
that.
little long.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
removed that.
So
Yeah.
yeah, empty space doesn't look good in the CV. So
Hmm.
try
Hmm.
to elaborate. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Thank you so much.